Okay, so now that we learn how to load the sprites, let's see what we can do with them. It all depends on the type of 2D game you are planning to create. The ones we loaded so far is called top-down game, and we are going to see the difference. But in generally speaking, when you are creating 2D games, we are talking about creating games where every single asset comes in a 2D image. So we are going to create our levels based on compiling multiple images together in a way that it resembles the look of your level. Basically, when we are creating 2D games, we have two main flavors. One is called sprite based and one is called tile based. The main difference between the two is that they're basically the same actually, but the main difference is that when you are using sprite based games, we are not organizing the tiles in any specific data structure. We are basically adding tiles to your game using the engine and arranging them on the screen so they can resemble a specific look you are targeting your game. When you are talking about tile-based games, we are organizing we are organizing the sprites in a grid, so in a 2D grid, in a way that's why we call them tiles, because they are basically placing images side by side to create the look for your game. When talking about tile games, we have three different flavors. Sprite based, since it's basically freestyle, you can add the images at will to create your level. Let me show some quick examples. So here we have an example of a sprite-based game, and you can imagine each of these images here, each tree, each mountain, the water, the vegetation, they could be a single image or they could be separate images that will lay over each other in any order to create the look of your game. We don't have a specific sequence to create the look for your game. Then we have the top-down game. You can imagine this is a 2D matrix of tiles. Each tile is going to be a rectangular image, and we can have multiple of those tile maps, as we call it, one on top of each other. We are going to practice that in a moment when we are creating our games. But the important thing here is that we have this matrix that is going to store all the information for our game level. A slight variation of that is what we call isometric games. The principle is basically the same. We still have a 2D matrix of tiles. The only difference is that the tiles are now designed in a way that they look isometric, which means they look from a 60 degrees angle point of view. So we have this this view that looks like the game is in 3D. Back in the day, when people still did not have the computational capability to create a 3D game with polygons, that's how the 3D look was achieved. So some authors call this fake 3D or 2.5D kind of a game. It looks 3D, but it's actually made of 2D tiles. Okay, I will show you an example on what we can do with that. And yet another variation of this same principle is what we call hexagon games. And again, we have all the tiles rendered in an angle. The main difference from this one and the previous one is that in a isometric and a top-down game, we have what we call neighborhood 4. Neighborhood 4 means that each tile is connected to other 4 tiles. So the top, bottom, left, and right. We have a limited amount of possibilities to connect the tiles. Isometric is the same. We have neighborhood 4. And here we have a neighborhood 6. So each tile can be connected to other 6 tiles. And this way, when we are animating the character has more flexibility because you can go into multiple directions. So it gives even more sense of three-dimensionality when you are implementing this kind of game level. The decision to which one to use is all about the design of your game. It all depends on the artist create the specific tiles for you to use in the game. We are not going to practice most of these games, but I will show at least one example on how to create a level using each one of the 4.